Happy Thursday. I don't have my coffee with me right now. I finished my first cup, but I'll be getting another one soon. Some of you have seen the giant black drape that we have hanging over the entrance to our children's area because of the storms that came through. We're going to take a walk back there and we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening. But it's going to be more than that. It's the setup for Sunday. But some of you haven't seen back here yet. So we'll go behind the curtain. This has been about a month-long process of remediating this place. I know it's dark. I'm going to come out to the light. Of remediating this place and getting it ready to replace carpeting and tiles. All the carpeting is up. You're going to hear my feet sticking to the floor because of the glue. We have stuff like this hanging here. This place was a nightmare after the tornado went by and the hail. There was water everywhere. You can see the ceiling tiles missing. And when we had the company come in to help dry it out and pull up, we did a kind of a quick thing on a Monday night, the Man Cave group, pulling down tiles and trying to get a lot of the water up. We had a company come in and they did an amazing thing. Coming down this hallway, they went into two of our primary classrooms and they put in artificial fake doors where the exit door is off in the distance. And in those doors, they put, there were two giant holes, about 2-3 feet across, one on the top and one on the bottom. And they had a machine outside that ran tubing into the building, blowing dry, warm air, and then a tube exiting the building back into the machine that was pulling the moisture out of the room. This hallway was covered with giant tubing going into all of the classrooms and all of the areas trying to dry it out. They did a fantastic job. It's mostly dry back here. We've mostly temporarily patched the roof to hold us until we can replace the roof. The roofer came by yesterday with the estimate. And then we'll start roof, tiles, carpeting, maybe some painting and things like that. But one of the other things you had to do, and you might be able to hear this a little bit in the background, is not only did we have those tubes that were blowing warm, dry in here, but we had fans everywhere. We still have a couple of them running in this room, and it's going to get pretty noisy. You hear that? Those are fans that are continuing to dry out some of the walls where moisture got in the walls. It's just a part of what has to be done to prepare this building for repair. This is my spot that you've seen me at before, with the view of the lake. But one of the things that was really amazing about all of the work that they did for the remediation was the importance and the power of blowing air, of wind, coming all through the building to dry it out and pull the moisture out so we can prepare it for being repaired. Which reminds me of a story, and it's true. It's unfortunate that we have to say that. There's so much misinformation and disinformation out there. I triple fact checked this and found some peer-reviewed studies that said this was true. They had built a biodome out in the desert that kind of simulated what it would be like to set up a living headquarters, living quarters on like Mars. And so they had this sealed biodome that people were going to live in for about a year and a half to see if they could make it self-sustaining, recycling water, recycling air. They try to plant a lot of like trees and natural vegetation in there to be a part of like scrubbing the air. And as the trees grew, one of the things that they discovered was that the trees, once they got to a certain height, would fall over. And they couldn't figure that out. So in all the studying they did, and it didn't take them super long to discover this, is that the trees didn't grow deep roots. Even though they had really deep soil, because they didn't put a bottom of this, they just stuck this dome over the top of the land, the trees didn't grow deep roots. And it took them a while to figure out why, but eventually they discovered that trees that aren't subject to steady and regular winds have no reason to grow roots. An amazing fact. And they fall over easy. So in order for them to put trees in this biodome, they had to find a way to artificially create wind, blowing air inside of a closed space so that the trees would feel the resistance and need to grow roots to hold themselves in place. The truth behind that is super self-evident, and we know that. The importance and the power of wind. And so this Sunday in our elemental series, we talked about the earth last week and how God is everywhere. The next one is wind. And we're going to talk about all the references to wind and to spirit and to breath that are all the same word. Those of you who practice some kind of meditative breathing exercises, box breathing, or focusing on your breath, realize the power and the importance of focusing on that. We're going to learn the scriptural, spiritual understanding and application of the importance of wind. And apparently it's to grow roots also. So this Sunday, there's a lot going on. Our food pantry is going to be operating Sunday, so spread the word about that. Our real life student ministry is going to be meeting this Sunday, so spread the word to all of the students that they will be meeting. They'll come first part of the worship service and then they'll leave when the children leave. We have our women's event this Saturday. We have women's Bible study going on right now, Thursday morning, and then Thursday night you can virtually call into that. So contact the church office if you want information about that. A lot of stuff coming up. You will get a detailed report about all of this in a few weeks. We're putting that together so you can see what's happening here and how you can help. So, it's empty. I need to refill it. Wind. It's going to be really kind of interesting. So, have a great week. Take care of yourself. And we'll see you Sunday.